guys, it's Horsey Stuff, and I am back with the third part of episode 2, season 1 of Heartland. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. If you are, leave a comment down below. Let me know that you love it, and like this video and subscribe for future videos. Remember that I react to Heartland every Tuesday and Friday at 5 p.m. So stay tuned for those videos to go up. We will keep going through season 1 and probably do 2, maybe 3 videos for each episode, kind of depending on how long the videos end up being and how much I have to say. But let's go ahead and see how the second episode ends. I apologize in advance, this video is a little bit shorter. I didn't realize just how little of the show was left when I posted the second part of this episode, so I didn't really have enough to make a whole third video. I should have just added this to the second one, but I thought there were a whole like 15-20 minutes left of the episode. So again, I apologize, this one is a little bit short, but hopefully you enjoy it, and let's go ahead and see how the episode ends. It surprises me somebody would drive onto a property with their truck, trailer, and I'm presuming a horse in the back, just unannounced, unexpected, with no kind of prior arrangement. I can't imagine doing that unless it was like a real emergency. But even then, I would call ahead. I wouldn't just show up. I think showing up to barns in general without kind of any communication or appointment is a little bit disrespectful, but showing up with your horse is just next level disrespectful. And it sounds like this guy is pretty, like, famous. I'm going to use the word loosely because I think famous in the area, not like famous outside of the area. But even being kind of a minor celebrity of some sort, you wouldn't just show up. I mean, even more so because you're well known, you would think you would call ahead and make arrangements, not just appear.
Star, he's having some problems with the dogs. He got spooked, now all he has to do is hear barking.
I could see that happening where a horse gets scared of something and then they just start to associate whatever that was with fear every time they see it. London, my gelding, is a perfect example of a horse that does that. Unless he has tons and tons and tons of good experiences with something, once something bad happens, he just assumes everything close to that is going to be bad. So in this instance, this horse was spooked by a golden retriever, and now he's scared of dogs. I could see that happening if he weren't really familiar with dogs to start with. London, for instance, if he had no interactions with dogs and then a dog scared him, he would probably be scared of everything small on 4 legs. Just that idea of generalizing can be really common. Horses can generalize quite easily, and if they are kind of a spooky, hot horse, they're very likely to say, well, one thing was scary that was similar to that, so now it's all scary. So this seems very believable. Alright, so now Amy is jumping Spartan, and he does look like a complete natural, so I'm glad he knows how to jump and that she's able to enjoy him. It's interesting to me that she's jumping with a cowboy hat. I wouldn't think you would do that. There's a reason helmets are required to jump in competition and not required in Western disciplines. I personally think helmets should be required in all showing, but they obviously aren't, and jumping is inherently a lot more dangerous than riding on the flat because you can fall from a greater height and you're much more likely to fall on top of something, head first into something, etc. So I do wish I saw her in a helmet right now. I personally think from the show's perspective, they're setting a bad example having her jump without a helmet. And it is kind of the norm. People that jump wear helmets, people that ride Western don't. So I would at least stick with that, just because you want to promote helmets as much as you can. Getting on any horse in any moment can be dangerous. You look at, there are some famous, really talented riders that have had bad brain injuries on just freak accidents on solid horses. So you should always wear your helmet, whether you're doing something dangerous or not. But for the sake of the show, I get that they want her in a cowboy hat because she's like Western and all that. But at least when she's jumping and riding English, I would like to see her in a helmet. She has surprisingly good form over fences for an actor that I don't think did a ton of riding before starting this show. I know that they put her in lessons and taught her how to ride for this role, but I am surprised at how quickly she has learned, because it wasn't years. I mean, I think it was maybe like a couple months or something. I would have to look up and see exactly how long it was. And of course, I don't know how intense her training was, but she looks like, you know, she has fairly good form and is nice and quiet in the tack. So that is really cool. Obviously, this horse they're using, Spartan, is educated, quiet, and easy. You can see she's really not doing a lot in order to adjust him and tell him what to do over these fences. And somebody else probably schooled him over these before she did. So I would doubt it's even his first time seeing them. But again, I'm really impressed for a novice rider. She looks fantastic. Her equitation is really quite good, which is all they needed from her in this show, because obviously they can train the horse to be really easy for her and suit her kind of riding style. They just need her to be a good rider and look like somebody who's been riding their whole life. So Eck is really all that matters in this instance, and they've done a fantastic job. She looks so happy riding him and jumping. I'm sure she missed it so much as she didn't really want to admit it, because it was her and her mom's thing. That grin is just so infectious. Like, it's making me smile how happy she is. I'm glad to see it. And I'm glad she got back to jumping, because clearly it was really important to her. I don't understand why they had him nicker right there. In general, like, horses are so noisy in movies for absolutely no reason. I did think it was kind of funny how after she stopped and Ty waved at her, she kind of like galloped off from there. Like, I thought she was going over to talk to her friends Soraya and Mallory, but I guess not. And just took back off, didn't even like walk and turn around and go back to what she was doing. Like, just wheeled around. I guess she's in a hurry to get back to that jumping. She manages to have pretty nice, quiet hands through this, even though you can tell she does use her hands just a little bit for balance. As a riding instructor, again, like, I get paid to critique people's riding and help them improve. I am noticing a little bit of pull to keep herself balanced, but overall that rein contact does stay surprisingly consistent, which is really nice. And of course it helps that Spartan does have a really nice headset. He's very consistent in the contact, and that soft feel she has, he's just right there in. So he is not making anything more obvious than it needs to be. He's gonna just kind of do his job and stay steady regardless of whether her hands are steady. I do have some horses that would be quite noisy with just that little bit of pull in her hand. They'd be kind of up, down, maybe a little bit of mouthing. So it's good that they did pick a horse that's really kind of quiet and takes the bit really well, because one that doesn't take the bit's going to just highlight her hands even more. For somebody that doesn't look specifically at things like this, I'm sure you guys never noticed. So again, very good job on the show's part teaching her how to ride. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Again, I apologize for it being so short. It was really interesting that they didn't add a new problem horse to the episode until the very, very end. I was really expecting that to happen earlier in the show, and then of course we didn't address the horse at all, so I'm assuming we're gonna deal with the new horse, the show jumper's horse that he brought that is scared of dogs. So I'm curious to see how that goes, but a little disappointed we didn't get anything really exciting in this episode. It was really just about getting Spartan to trailer loads. So I guess that was the episode, really, of just a continuation of Spartan and getting him loading. But hopefully as the episodes go on, they do keep introducing more horses, because I feel like if we don't have a new horse every episode, it's gonna get kind of boring. Maybe that's just me. I don't really know how this show works yet, so I guess I will find out how it goes. maybe horses do last more than one episode and kind of have more intense problems. I hope you guys enjoyed this short part 3 of season 1 episode 2 of Heartland, and I will be back with another episode of Heartland every Tuesday and Friday. Make sure that you subscribe down below so that you can see every episode of my reaction to Heartland series. There's also a playlist linked in the description box below where you can find all the rest of my Heartland reactions if you did miss one or just want to go through and watch them all together. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.